we found that writing, no matter what subject area you're in, is a real problem. So we found students struggling and in the English department wanted to find ways to help them build their writing, obviously within the context of our English class. However, all of these tools could be used kind of throughout the subjects. So this first side is what we do for some pre-writing when an essay comes up. We just want the basic, make sure you have an introduction, that you have at least 3 points, and you have a conclusion. So for some students, if it works for them, especially the more hands-on students, we taught them a folding method to help kind of visually divide the paper that way. So this is just the example that we gave them, and then here is a filled out version. They have not a full paragraph, they never write their whole paper, but just it helps them sort their ideas that way. On the other side here as well are actual student examples of their pre-writing. During the writing SOL, they're given sheets of paper, as many as they need, and each one you can see kind of takes the idea of having these paragraphs and having this organization and sets it up in the way that works best for them. And then here in the center are a few activities that we do just to help them figure out how to write, not just how to organize, but once they start the actual essay, what should their writing look like? So these top 3 things are called mentor sentences. For the mentor sentences, you have at the top an example. Ours comes directly from, on all of them comes from literature because that's what we teach, but you could obviously use examples from any form of writing that you want. So this is an example of a well-written sentence from A Raisin in the Sun, and beneath that are 4 versions of the exact same sentence with only one thing changed. Maybe a comma missing, maybe this one has like the first letter is not capitalized. There's only one thing. And so students aren't busy trying to correct the whole sentence. They're not sitting there being told, no, you're wrong, you're wrong. All they have to do right here in this middle column is say what is missing, what is wrong. They don't have to know why. They just have to know, like, there is a comma missing. And then in this column, I have them go through and they have to guess why that is incorrect. And then we'll go over those answers. So they'll say there's a comma missing and make a guess why it matters so that that gets their brain thinking back to the rules they already know. So these 2 are just 2 examples of students who did that correctly. They realized what is missing or what is different, and then they went through and described why that mattered. Another thing we have them do, this also kind of comes from the mentor sentences, but it's a form of modeling. So these are both sentences found in short stories that we've read. And as we read, they have to pick out the sentences that they really, really like. Not because they like the meaning of the sentence or it means a lot to them or they can really connect to it, but just because they think that the way it was written is different or cool or interesting. And so they have to write down, they do it a couple of ways. One way, they have to write it down as a sentence. Then I show them a random picture, usually something funny to get their attention, and they have to write about that picture using the exact same format as the sentence. The other thing they have to do is for the ones they really like is they have to make a little poster, and I hang those up on the wall, and then they can trade that out anytime they want. They find a new sentence they like, and we trade it, and then that allows my whole classroom is then covered in well-written, correctly written, interesting sentences. So they're not stuck with the 3-word sentences or anything like that, and they're constantly seeing them all around the classroom. And my juniors are the ones doing this, but then I teach freshmen. There's also 2 math classes and a history class that come in, so everyone's seeing it when they're in there.